Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the European Crossover webinar. A little bit of a late start. I did share in the chat room last night. We were under tornado warnings here, and got pretty intense to hear the hail beating on the house. And as I was noting in the chat room, pretty odd considering the high yesterday was 89 degrees. Then have hail hitting the house pretty hard. But anyway, it's still raining pretty hard, and we did finally lose electricity. But I did get things up and running, so we're ready to go now. And so it's not bad, just a few moments late. We just, I'm not sure where everything was, like I said. So I did get the system up and running. I did have the analysis yesterday. I did a fairly early Asian analysis, so we shall see what prices and everything are at. Did bring up the economic calendar. I do see that we did have the German import prices 2 hours ago, came in at 1.8%, better than the forecast of just 1%. Spanish CPI came in a little bit stronger, 2.2 versus forecast of 1.3. Also, Spanish unemployment came in at, wow, 15.98%. Holy smokes. And they're expecting 16.6. And German unemployment came in at 9,000. They were expecting minus 10,000. We just got that, I guess, about 15 minutes ago. And then, let's see, in another 45 minutes at the top of the hour, we'll have Italian PPI, as well as business and consumer survey at the top of the hour for the Eurozone, as well as consumer confidence for April. A lot of news. And then as we roll into the States at 8 a.m. Eastern, it's 8 a.m. Eastern, we'll get German CPI. And then, of course, we'll get our usual jobless claims. 8:30 Eastern, we will have GDP. It's Q1, and pending home sales at 2 a.m. Eastern. Looking at the S&P, we did go and rally. We actually into our bonus chart resistance. We got to 4207 exactly, and that's what I had, 4207. So we had that from yesterday, and then we have it for today also. So unbelievable. Made it to 4207, and looks like we're at 4204 right now. We'll just take a quick jump over there. There we go. And fair warning, like I said, it's raining pretty hard, so hope the electricity doesn't go back out again. So here we are. You can see here we did go on to make it up here to 4207, and that's our bias chart resistance. Let's see what happens at that point. Let's see, and cable, we're looking at the 6B. Cable got to 39.76. We're currently at 39.61. And the futures trade also 39.61. So they're both trading, even for even. Usually you'll see what you do see a premium, but as we get closer, right now we're trading even for even right now. The cash is trading 39.61, and the futures is trading right now 39.60. So actually a 1 point difference. And like I said, I'm just trying to get reconfigured because didn't have any electricity for a while. Trying to get my bearings and see where things are at. Gold did rally up to about 1790. I think we had 1792 for our bias chart resistance. Wow, we've actually backed down a bit here. Well, we have come up quite a bit. Look at that. And I saw that there. And here's where I thought about taking a short right there. I said, well, I'll just wait. But, boy, we had a pretty good little sell-off from that. good little sell-off in gold. Take a look at the NASDAQ. We did have 14,040, I believe, is our resistance. Looks like we made it up there. And as I mentioned, look at the SPOOs. Did get up to 4207. Boy, we had pretty good little sell-off back in gold. And I believe our buy chart resistance was 1792. So that being said, we're going to jump into the analysis. Where we trying to get everything else situated. And there we are with the euro. We did poke above, we finally got above that 21.31. You can see that. So it says the euro post FOMC closed at the bulls next target, which was 21.31. Remember, we actually had that as our bias chart resistance for the last couple of days. You can see that there. We did close at that level yesterday. We actually got up there and tagged it and closed just a little bit underneath it. Bulls will now be eyeing 2177 resistance with support at 2073. So we haven't quite made it there, but we have made a run up there almost to 2150. So resistance we're saying is going to be 2177. And support 2073. Boy, eventually coming down pretty hard. Let's go move into cable now. Well, this thing made it run even further up, and we did get above that key weekly pivot of 39.17. So moving on to cable. Cable secured a daily close above the weekly pivotal level of 39.17 post FOMC. Resistance for Thursday will be 39.82. Let's see what the high is. Like I said, I'm just now getting things up and going, so I'm not sure what's going to. The high has been 39.76. Okay, so we're looking for 39.82. And support will be 38.92. Next is the Aussie dollar. Got a pretty good push up in here. So the Aussie finished Wednesday with a close above resistance, which was 77.92, after a test of 77.25. See that pullback earlier. Placing bulls squarely in control. Resistance for Thursday will be 78.37. Say we're running out of gas a little bit. 78.37 with support of 77.58. The old 77.58 there. And then on to the dollar yen. So the dollar yen brushed 109 before closing the day at 861 with the gravestone doji. There, but boy, we're pushing right back up again. Resistance for Thursday will be 897, currently at 891, with support at 819. On to the cash dollar index. So the dollar index finished Wednesday on its lows at support at 90.56. Support for Thursday will be 90.39 with resistance at 91.06. Let's see where the low was. Oh, no, pretty close, 90.41. So support 90.39 with resistance at 91.06. Obviously still bearish. And not trying to rush it quick, but I don't want the electricity cut off again. So I just want to try and hit these levels and get things going before hopefully we don't cut off again. So let's now move into Bitcoin. So Bitcoin pressed resistance at 56,335. We actually got to that resistance. You can see right there here on Bitcoin. We got to that resistance, our bias chart resistance from yesterday. There, we actually made it right there. Before preparing to close under close sub 55,000. Support for Thursday will be 53,500. We're certainly making our way there. We actually looks like we may have got there. That's the deep blue line. Let's see here. Yeah, well, it looks like we made it down to. Sure enough. So we made it down to about 53,415. So our support today was 53,500. Like that. With resistance at 55,800. And moving into the S&Ps. The S&P managed to close at another all-time high, albeit only slightly. Resistance will be 4207 with support at 4167. So actually looks like we nagged the top. 4207. Actually, that was our resistance also for yesterday. In case we took off, we didn't, but that's our resistance again for today. Then the high today is exactly 4207. Support's going to be the pivot, that key pivot, 4167. Onto the NASDAQ. We had 14,040 and we were keeping the 14,040. And we take a look at the NASDAQ. It looks like we may have hit that. The high so far has been 14,038. So not bad, 14,040. And our support, though, because we did come off this pretty strongly, does move up. Let's see, 14,002. Let's too long for close. Let's go up there. 13,996. Let's move on to gold. Okay, gold closed positive above 1780. Let's go gold now. Gold closed positive after testing above 1780 after testing 1760 earlier in the day. Resistance for Thursday will be 1792 with support at 1774. So we're almost on our way to 1774. And as I mentioned, resistance at 1792. We got like the 1789.70 or something. Let me see here. 1789.90. So I did see it in Asia and actually saw it, as I mentioned. I didn't see this little gravestone doji at the time. You can see that right there on the 5 minute. A little mini gravestone doji, but I did see it right here. I did think about taking a short, and although I didn't think we just keep on heading on lower. We certainly did. So 1792 and support today is 1774. And with that, we'll move to crude. Like I said, I'm trying to hurry and get this done and don't want to lose electricity again. Crude's still on the march and doing very well. So crude rally past $64 on Wednesday. Resistance for Thursday will be 64.27. And it looks like the highest of the day has been 64.35. Will be 64.27 with support at 62.84. So 62.84. $64.27. And there we have it. There's a bias chart. The webinar, like I said, today is going to be rather quick. Like I said, just got the electricity on. It's pouring pretty hard. I don't want to lose the electricity again before I get a chance to go on and post that webinar. And then I'm going to restart up the system again. Just got it started just so I can hurry up and do the webinar. But that's what we have. I'll post the bias chart in the chat. And apologies on the delay, but obviously because of extreme weather. And we'll see you all in the chat later on. Thank you.